Welcome back, everyone. Good evening. It is episode 405. We got a great one tonight. We're going to be discussing little developments in the Middle East, things that are just going on. Iran's response, Trump's response to Iran's response, and it's another taco. Where that's right, you're getting Trump dinner. You're getting tacos at Trump dinner. If you don't know, yeah, Trump dinner is literally going to happen. So there's that to be talking about. We'll be getting into that tonight. And yeah, just more crypto news in general. I don't know, really nothing much has happened. Not much has changed, but we're still going to get into it. Downtrends are set to continue. Where is my favorites? Hello. Please don't make me log in live. It's going to make me log in, isn't it? No, we're good. Okay. There we go. That's the red I want to see. Okay, now we're ready. Bitcoin's price, 68,684. Why are we dropping? Do we no longer trust Trump? Is that the case? I think so, honestly. Iran keeps blowing it away, saying, yeah, no, this deal that Trump is talking about, it's not even real. It's not happening. Totally fake. He's the fake news in this case. And Trump is like, yeah, no, our talks are going great. I don't know what they're talking about. They're the ones reaching out to me. So, yeah, there are talks going on, and we're just going to keep delaying the strikes and prolonging the war, which is not the thing that we want to hear. Hence the drop for today. Seems like it's going to prolong for a while. Now, we do want energy prices to come back down. We want global economy to not be in a recession. That would be pretty good. So, you know, part of us does want the war to end. Although, yes, everything leads to inflation at the end. How about we just not have to worry about a nuke falling on our heads? How about that? So, yeah. That's what's going on right now. Downtrend continues, like I said. I don't know if we'll truly prolong this downtrend. I mean, this seems like a weaker kind of downtrend. Wouldn't surprise me if, yeah, we might make a lower low first. It's part of the downtrend move. But I don't know how much lower we can go. I'm hoping we could stay above 67,000, but that's clearly just an imaginary level based off this support level, a local bottom that we hit over here. But if we are to continue whatever trajectory there is this week, Bitcoin could tolerate another 5% drop toward 65,000, I'd say, as a support level. Hopefully we do keep that, even if we do drop as low as another 5% down to 62,000, 61,500, you're still, overall, long-term, in an uptrend. To allow Bitcoin to continue further down, most people are expecting that at this point. It needs to make one more leg down. I don't know, Trump is going to get impeached, lose the midterms, whatever the case is, the war will continue. We're not getting, I don't know, not getting the Clarity Act, whatever the case is, right? Some bad news is going to happen, and it might make us the lower low, lower than the 59,800 that we saw at our absolute worst, right? Can I just modify this a little? There we go. Hello, Crypto Squid. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to drop that low, especially during this period of time. I don't think this is the downtrend that will push us that low. I feel like we're going to get an uptrend first that would allow us to at least approach 80,000. No, I'm not biased. Maybe not 80,000. As time goes on, this line just keeps decreasing. I just assume that we would approach whatever this line is. Maybe we hit a double top at MicroStrategy's average price, which happens to be around 76,000. That's subject to change. It's not a real level, but it's psychologically there, right? At least for us. So that's one level that people could point toward. I was hoping the bounce from a downtrend line would happen around over here at 80,000. FOMC, Jerome Powell said nope, so we must obey. Now I'm looking at 76,000 to be a potential high. And like a bull case scenario, right? We hit a high like this before we inevitably continue lower. Otherwise, if we do continue lower, hey, that's good, I guess. We could tough it out, let the downtrend do its thing until we ultimately recover and start making our moves higher once again. As time prolongs, as I say, this downtrend line gets weaker and weaker because it's only a matter of time before that gets broken. Now, would we be out of the woods yet? No, not yet. Even in the weekly charts, this is estimated to go on for basically the rest of the year, this whole bear market case. And if this would load, that would be great. Even if we do rise to 93,000, you are still in a bear market, my friend. And also, you know, still it could be subject to change. If we lateralize down here for a couple of months, that would be ugly. But yeah, I'm sure downtrend weekly chart should kind of reduce itself around over here until we inevitably, you know, start making some bigger moves, approach 100,000 again. But by this point, we're looking at end of year this year, maybe after the midterms, after, you know, Trump loses the House or Senate or both, whatever happens in the midterms. It's not looking good for Republicans. War is unpopular, not getting mass deportations, not getting a border wall, and a new war. We were promised no new wars, so people are dissatisfied with the administration, from what I see. At least that's what the sentiment is on crypto Twitter. Not crypto Twitter, just Twitter in general. That's what I see. So, like I said, we ultimately could get a rise, but it's not going to be like bull market is back kind of deal. We still have a few more months to prolong, endure this crypto winter. It will all be over sooner than you know it. Just, I honestly pray I don't get liquidated at 54,000 first, but I'm sure we'll just lateralize around here. I'm expecting like the major drop to be, I don't know, I couldn't really give you a time frame, but I don't expect it to happen like now during this spring. We're kind of just lateralizing around this area for now. Maybe a good area for accumulation. That's kind of what I am doing at this point, so that's what I see. Go back. Okay. Gonna delete this because it's not gonna play out. And that. I mean, maybe we could keep it there as a potential target. Could be. That's only if we get an uptrend though. We don't have that right now. We don't have that yet. We're in a downtrend currently, so we're expecting things to continue lower, at least for the time being. There is the short positions that we want to see. There we go. Ethereum is at 2068. Not necessarily a lower low just yet, but that can continue. I put my take profit somewhere 1956. Yeah, fair enough. What would a 1-to-3 reward ratio would have looked like? Too low. So, like, that's out of this uptrend line, you know? If Ethereum's supposed to continue its drop, we lose $2,000, we're heading to 1925 potentially, and I feel like that's a decent support level where we could slow down any drop that we're making, right? And then, you know, inevitably continue higher, potentially, that could be the case. This would be the equivalent of maybe Bitcoin 60, oh, give me a number, 63, 2? Was it 2 or 3? 62, I think I said. This uptrend line, 62,000. Because every alt is basically oversold at this point. So, you know, how much lower, how much worse can it truly get, right? Bitcoin is relatively strong with holding where it is right now, around 70,000, that is, all throughout this period of the war. Have you noticed that? Stock markets be losing trillions, but Bitcoin is just, yeah, it's boring, it's flat, but at least we're not crashing an extra 20% every day, you know? So that's the only good thing I see from it, is that we're kind of holding. So yeah, anyways, about this, go back to 1-to-2 risk-reward ratio where you belong. We'll see how this one plays out for Ethereum. If I had real money, I would be rich, but I don't. I would have lost already in one of the positions for Chainlink. There is Solana's inevitable downtrend, finally, drawn just as how I drew it here, hey? There you go, downtrend line. I mean, this one is kind of behaving according to the move, right? I feel like this should have flipped way earlier, back in 22nd of March, but it took this long, whatever, it gave us a false sense of hope. But downtrend is confirmed now for Solana, so same deal here. You're expecting this to go lower. Is right now an entry price? Not yet. I wait for maybe one more oscillation before moving lower like this. When you get a confirmation of a swing right around here, you'd put your stop right above there and take profit, something not too ambitious, but reasonable. I think a 1-to-2 could be reasonable. Wouldn't you agree? 79 is a take profit? Maybe. Something like this, if it does play out. I'm going to leave this drawing here just to see what happens. Moving on. BitTensor. Still keeping its move toward the upside, staying above 300, great. Super trend is on the rise, 267 currently. The price of BitTensor is 345, after topping out at 374. Did we see this yesterday? 12 p.m. Yeah, we absolutely did. So, yeah. Good stuff for BitTensor. AI narrative still very strong, very solid. So, I don't expect BitTensor to be crashing to new lows anytime soon. It's impressive, the rise that it had ever since it flipped the trend over, the confirmation of it right over here. Looks great. Yeah, this rise is just very nice. I wonder if I was to flip this over, enter somewhere around here, tight stop loss. I don't know if I would realistically do this, if I'd be capable enough to do something like this. How much profit could this have given me at its peak, at its absolute peak? 1 to 14 risk-reward ratio? Yeah, I don't know. Hey, possibly. If you were using this kind of, you know, break out of a downtrend kind of strategy, wait for this to approach an uptrend, you did start seeing this uptrend line over here. So, you know, could have worked out if only we were wizards, right? Or if only we could turn back the time. Dude, I'd be so rich. Hyperliquid still maintaining its uptrend as well, very strong. I put a super ambitious take profit. Realistically, you could have just left at 1 to 2 and called it a day, but that would have happened already before. I do expect Hyperliquid to continue doing its thing, thanks to crude oil, of course, and just the tokenized aspect of Hyperliquid's ecosystem. So that's good. Uptrend invalidates at below 36, so that's where I have a stop. Hypothetically speaking, not real. And current price is $38.94 on Hyperliquid. Looks good. Sui, did we drop anything? Finally, yes. So we did not rise above $1. That's where I put a stop loss at a very tactical area where that stop loss would not get hit, because we're in a downtrend now for Sui. Surprise. It's unfortunate. I was really hoping we could get like a explosive move like we used to see back in the 2024 days of Sui. But I guess not. Hence, it will decay, continue to decay at least. I don't like how distant this is, though, which pushes my take profit a lot further down. Kind of unreasonable to hit. I don't know. Might have to reduce this to like a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Never doubt an altcoin dropping, though, because they will always make lower lows. They will get impressively cheaper every time, regardless of what you think. Only sometimes, if you're lucky enough, you'll find the gem that will 1000x or something. But the other 90% of the time, it's probably decaying. So, yeah. Chainlink, yeah, it's doing exactly what I was hoping it wouldn't do, right? Decides to break the downtrend for no reason at all. Fake out, by the way. And then continue with its drop, resume with its drop. It technically is in an uptrend, but like, how would you even draw one? Like, would it be from all the way down here, I guess? Yeah, give me this. Oh, not even from here, from here. That looks ugly. I don't know how I feel about that. And I don't expect it to last too long. If anything, I expect the downtrend to be renewed, such as like this, and the downtrend to continue. I think this is a fake uptrend. Do not trust it. Rest of market is in downtrend, mainly Bitcoin. That's the only thing you really got to pay most attention to, the trend of Bitcoin, to kind of help determine the move of your favorite altcoin, except for Hyperliquid. That's its own monster. But yeah. And Hedera, really, really close to hitting a stop. So you got to put it a little bit higher, of course. I know I learned that from experience. And there you go. I mean, technically in green right now, the position. So we're not stopped out yet, which is good. Take profit is around down here. Before 0.8423, right above that, right? My take profit, we're shorting it. You get it? Nice. What would a downtrend look like? I have not seen this in a long-term vision yet. That is a downtrend, if I do say so myself. Let's go to the daily chart. Can I find anything decent here? Anything interesting? That's being pushed over. I don't like how that looks. Neither do I like how this looks. Yeah, it all looks really bad. Can't draw a good one. I think this one makes more sense. So I'm going to delete this. Yeah, this one makes more sense. So we'll go back to 4-hour chart. This is the downtrend line that we are looking at. Makes more sense that way. Nice. Okay, downtrend confirmed for Hedera. Going to continue dropping. Where is my Monero? Please give me back my Monero and my Litecoins. Why do you torture me like this? What other coin was I looking at? I'm going to commit adultery right here and gonna look at MUSDT. Coin I should not be looking at. Favorite that. Look at it. 7% down today. This is true volatility. This is what you need in trading. I could have never guessed this would have dropped 7%. What is this move? For what? Why did we just spike 27% and another 10%? Open to close, by the way, excluding the actual wicks. Including the wick, it's like a 61% rise just on an average, what was it yesterday? Wednesday morning. While the rest of the markets were, I don't know, what were the rest of the markets doing? Crashing? Where did the rest of my list go? Hello? Why do you always do this to me? Just gonna refresh then, I don't know. Is it here now? Yes. We're going to be looking at Meme Core from now on. Confirmed. Pump Fun is great and all, but, I mean, Meme Core is where the money is at. I mean, explain this, atheists. I would like to see you try. I'm interested in this volatility, so I'm going to keep my eyes on this. It's caught my attention for a long time now, and I'm like, dude, it's got something going on. And I honestly feel like it's more of a coin toss, because how do you even analyze this price action? This is not enough for a downtrend. This is not enough for an uptrend. Not enough for a downtrend. Uptrend, like, it's boring for a long period of time, but it's still volatile. Like, even a move like this from here to here, that's 4%. No, hold on. Probably measuring this wrong. I don't know. A drop like this on an average day, 11%. Okay, cool. But, I mean, you're still technically in an uptrend. If you get the rise appropriately, that's a 17% rise. You get the rise appropriately, I don't know what. Well, there goes my chart. Thanks for watching the stream, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, so I think it's interesting, this whole price action. Interesting for trading. But I feel like it's more like a coin toss, like I said, so. Where is Meme Core, please? I gotta stop searching for stuff like this. Just give me the search button, if it will load. Number 32. So it's not even that bad in terms of market cap. It's not like a low cap token. This is 2.78 billion. This is more than, what, Aptos by now? What is Aptos' market cap? What did I say? This was 2 billion. Here's Meme Core. It's more than Pi, Pax Gold, Near, Aave, Aster. More than Aster. That's all you really got to know. More than Pepe. I think it absolutely is more than Aptos. Where even is Aptos? Here it is, number 61. Dude, Aptos' market cap is brutal. What is this? 816 million? Millions. We're talking millions. It's no longer in the billions. That is dirt cheap. $1.02. I've not looked at Aptos ever since I removed it, because it doesn't stop dropping this thing. I mean, it had a good rise, I guess. Is this a good rise? After being around 90 cents. Oh, I do not like to see Aptos at 90 cents. Hold on, let me look at the actual charts, because I cannot tell anything by those line graphs. Please let me type, thank you. Well, I guess we're looking at USDC. Yeah, I was looking at this kind of drop over here. Hey, nice breakout. Was I looking at this? Where did this come from? Oh, well. Oh, this came from a long time ago. Well, yeah, this is a USDC chart, so I don't know. I haven't looked at USDC in a very long time. Can I please get a USDT up in here? Thank you. Yeah, this is more accurate, I guess. Kind of a breakout over here. I wouldn't say this is a big move either. Highest was $1.12. Come on, dude. I was stressing at 141 when this was the low point. And we ultimately broke far below that. Oh, this is dangerous. 22 of February. Yeah, this is like when I completely stopped looking at this coin. And it's still down here. Hey, if you care about Aptos, still very cheap. I do like the project, but come on. This is uncalled for. USDD. Who did this one again? USDD. It's pegged by the US dollar. Come on, who owns this? Who did it? It was Tron. Is it Tron? I guess it is. Yeah, okay, cool. Zcash still dying off. Monero is still thriving, double the value of Zcash. Deserved. 329 still for Monero. I have not been able to look at the charts. Oh, we're dropping with it. We were approaching 400, but we didn't really hit it because Bitcoin never hit 80,000, so that sucks. And what else is moving hard? What is Siren? Some meme coin probably. Ondo is the best coin that is up to date, and it's only up 2%. That just goes to show how bad the markets are right now. Meme core among the biggest drops, even though it had a huge pump. It's only showing 9% down because we're probably measuring it from the tip of its peak, right? Yeah, probably. Okay, that's good. Nice. Let's, I think that's all for this. Yeah, let's move on to our news. So what do we got first? We had yesterday the 15-point peace plan, which we read, proposed by the United States to Iran. Some common sense suggestions, like, yeah, you can't have a nuke and you gotta demilitarize. But then there's some stuff that is like, yeah, you gotta demilitarize completely to the point where you're powerless. And trust us, bro. I'm sure they're not going to accept it. Iran has officially responded to it, saying that they are waiting for a response. The response for it, well, first Trump is like, okay, what do you mean response? The Iranian negotiations are very different and strange. They are begging us to make a deal, which they should be doing since they have been military obliterated with zero chance of a comeback, and yet they publicly state that they are only looking at our proposal. Wrong. They better get serious soon before it's too late, because once that happens, there's no turning back. So they reviewed it, and then they said, well, the senior Iranian official says that Tehran has reviewed the U.S. proposal delivered via Pakistan. Iran believes it is one-sided and unfair, serving only U.S. and Israeli interests. Officials say the offer does not meet the minimum requirements for a deal, so probably nothing is going to happen from all of this, is what some people are expecting, right? Okay. And then Trump comes out with this. He says he will pause the energy plant strikes, which were set to happen by this weekend. And he's pausing it for 10 days more until April 6, which April 6, I have these little calendars for work. That's going to be on a Monday. Convenient timing. Following a request from the Iranian government as talks continue. A request from the Iranian government. They requested to hold for another 10 days while the talks are continuing, because Trump apparently thinks that it's all going well. He posted, as per Iranian government request, please let this statement serve to represent that I'm pausing the period of energy plant destruction by 10 days. It's going to be on Monday, April 6 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Talks are ongoing, and despite erroneous statements to the contrary by the fake news media and others, they are going very well. So anything else you hear is fake news, and only I'm telling the truth, even though Iran says, what are you talking about? We did not request a 10-day pause from you. What are you talking about? Could this be another taco? Another delicious taco meal? Trump chickening out again. Potentially, because, I mean, we had this before. On Saturday, Trump says, hey, you got 24 hours or we're going to bomb your energy plants. And then he's like, oops, I think we probably said that we probably should not have said that because we might anger them, or I don't know. They have the ability to escalate to the point where it could become devastating, and they can, because they did threat to strike desalination, energy plants, LNG facilities, etc. And then Trump is like, okay, well, what do we do? I don't know. Let's pretend we talked to them and we're going to be delaying it. So come Monday, before markets open, conveniently enough, he says, I'm giving an extension of 5 days. 5 days to push it all to the weekend. Make it worry about the weekend when the markets are closed. Push the worry all the way up to there. And in the middle of the week now, Trump is like, oh, the people think we're lying. Okay, well, let's see if we actually do get something going on, because Iran is denying all these talks, by the way. They're like, dude, what are you talking about? We have not even spoken once. And Trump is like, yes, you guys reached out to me, right? Right? And then he's like, okay, guys, they're still reaching out to me, by the way, and they're begging me to stop because we completely destroyed their military and we're so strong. We're giving them another 10 days because of how well the talks are going. And once again, they're like, dude, what talks? There's nothing going on. You're just delaying this for no reason. In the meantime, the United States is potentially preparing for boots on the ground on an island. So not technically boots on the ground in the mainland, right? U.S. landing assets are surging toward Iran's Karg Island, the lifeline for most of its oil exports, which is now all their military equipment is destroyed from the strikes that we did, also conveniently over a weekend while markets were closed. Trump said that hitting it would be symbolic and devastating, is to choke Iran's economy and jolt global energy markets in hours. That's why even the hint of an operation matters, despite prediction markets still sitting at a 50-50 call on Iran losing control by the end of May. Real world stakes massive. Market confidence, flip a coin. Yeah, it's on Polymarket here. Karg Island no under Iranian control by May 31st, 50% chance. It's a 50-50. Will we actually deploy units in the Middle East? Karg Island may be the target. Nearly 90% of Iran's crude export flows through that single island. Trump already hit its defenses earlier this month, deliberately sparing the oil terminals, a warning shot. Now the next move is being discussed. MEUs are apparently purpose-built for exactly this kind of operation. And we did our thing here. We told this, we kind of alluded this to Iran that we will be putting boots on the ground. Iran is like, yeah, I mean, come on. We accept you with open arms. See what happens if you start deploying troops over here. So they're defiant about it, right? Now, the other target that they could land at, a different island, would be the Abu Musa Island. Don't know what this island is. It's apparently... What is this image showing? Abu Musa is this island right over here, right in the middle of the Strait of Hormuz. Not necessarily in the middle, but you get the point. Close enough. Where's Karg Island? Does it show me here? No. 3 islands they could potentially land on would be Greater Tunb, Lesser Tunb, and then the Abu Musa. Could be the next one. Axios reports the US is looking at seizing the Iran-controlled island sitting 40 miles from both Iran and the United Arab Emirates, right at the entrance to the Strait of Hormuz. Lesser Tunb and Greater Tunb are also in play. These are the islands we talked about weeks ago. No, we didn't. Abu Musa gives whoever holds it direct control over every vessel entering or leaving the strait. Iran has used it to stage fast attack boats and launch drones at shipping for 4 straight weeks. The USS Tripoli and 2,200 Marines are days away. The 82nd Airborne is deploying. Apaches are already hunting Iranian boats along the coastline, and now the Pentagon is telling reporters exactly which piece of rock they want. Iran just mobilized 1 million troops and threatened unprecedented measures against any Gulf state that supports a ground operation. Yeah. I thought their military was destroyed, but okay. The next 48 hours could determine whether this war ends at a negotiating table or on a beach. I mean, now it's going to be another 10 days, so give me a break. Iran claims that they mobilized over 1 million troops to counter a possible U.S. ground invasion. Either way, 1 million troops versus how many troops do we have over there in the United States? I'm sure it's more than 1 million, but still, potentially 1 million people dying in this war. No good. Trump says that Iran asked for more time. The mediators say that's not true. Trump extended his energy strike pause to April 6, claiming it was at Tehran's request. The mediators directly involved in the talks say that this never happened. They never asked for that, and they haven't even delivered a final response to the 15-point plan. Well, I'm pretty sure they hate it either way. Either Trump fabricated the request to justify backing down from another deadline, or there's a back channel the mediators aren't seeing. Yeah, maybe they're not getting informed, sure. Given the pattern of ultimatums followed by walkbacks, the tacos, the first option feels more likely. About Trump fabricating a request to justify backing down from another deadline. Yeah, potentially. The real picture from mediators, Iran is interested in talking, but leadership hasn't signed off. Do we even know if this Khamenei guy is still alive? Possibly. I have some news about the guy. Some old news. I mean, this was talked about before and brought up to my attention by Bradley at the end of my stream. Is like people were looking at the stuff on the side over here from people I'm following, and it talked about, I might as well talk about it now, if I could find it. Yes. US President Trump confirms that the CIA told him that Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, is gay. There you go. Hey, isn't this a crime over there? The IRGC, won't they kill you for being gay or something? But now they call him the nickname, the gay Khamenei. Haha, get it? Anyways, no more. Iran's IRGC has lowered the minimum age for war support roles to 12 years old. So while the United States is raising their military age to, what was it, 36 to 42, something like that. Now people in their 40s can enlist. Iran is doing the same, but lower. They're getting children as young as 12 to be recruited for patrols, checkpoints, and logistics under an initiative called For Iran. Hey, Bradley's in the chat. Let's go. Yeah, you pointed it out for me. You literally DM'd me that photo. I just laughed out loud. Yeah, Khamenei is gay. No way. It would have been when they first announced like his appointment to leadership, even though we never really saw the guy. That was funny though. Now, Trump also commented on the NATO nations. Hey, thanks for nothing. NATO nations have done absolutely nothing to help with the lunatic nation, now military decimated, of Iran. If they're military decimated, why are they preparing for boots on the ground? They clearly still have a military. The USA needs nothing from NATO, but we will never forget this very important point in time. Yeah, go see who you scream to help for when Russia is invading the rest of Europe. Am I right? Hey, maybe that's the cue for Putin to do so. Not giving you military advice, but, you know, maybe the United States will not help NATO. What if we turn around against Europe and are like, hey, it's not our war. We didn't start it, so you guys figure it out. I thought Article 5, an attack on one nation is an attack on all. Right? I guess not. What about the missiles launched on Turkey? Isn't Turkey part of NATO? Nobody cares, apparently. It's likely that the USA just exits NATO at this point. Wouldn't surprise me, especially under Trump's mandate, because, I don't know, they do not like what Trump is doing with the Middle East, of course. They don't want to join, they don't want to help, so, yeah, leaving them high and dry. And it's costly for the United States as well. I'm sure other countries have their economic expenses to worry about. They gotta afford a lot of healthcare for illegal immigrants, so very, very important. We can't be spending it on a war. No way. The US fires $4 million of Patriot missiles to take down cheap Iranian drones worth $35,000. So we're spending $4 million to defend against $35,000. And of course, there's a lot more drones that can be fabricated, mobilized, launched at anywhere. It's easy to do so, and it's cost efficient. The cost ratio is basically 100 to 1. Iran is draining the American empire dry. The math doesn't add up. The good news is that we've got an infinite amount of money at the Federal Reserve. Am I right? Sure, Kashkari would agree. Was it Kashkari? I think so. Oh, now I have to look him up. Kashkari. Yeah, that's the guy. Anyway, Israel eliminates the man directly responsible for closing the Strait of Hormuz, per Israeli media. His name is Ali Reza Tangsiri. He was killed in Bandar Abbas and had commanded the IRGC Navy since 2018. He was the one who personally ordered any ship attempting to pass the strait to get Iran's approval or face attack. And in order to get Iran's approval, you got to pay in Chinese yuans. They're moving away from the petrodollar, another big issue. Where, I mean, of course, it's mainly China that they're letting pass through. But yeah, what are we going to do? Bomb China ships? That's Iran's job, and Iran is not going to do that because China is an ally. It's all this issue, of course. So moving on from all that, President Trump's signature is set to be added to the US dollar banknotes as part of a redesign commemorating the 250th anniversary of American independence. Does that mean we're getting his face on the $100 bill? I know his signature, I think, is guaranteed to be replaced. Under this change, his signature will, it's going to replace the U.S. Treasurer, whose signature has appeared on all U.S. currencies, since 1861. RIP, you're getting replaced by Trump, I guess. Hey, if anyone deserves to be on the $100 bill, is it Trump? Surely. Is Trump the richest president to ever take office? That is a good question. Is Trump the richest president to take office? Literally, who is more richer than Trump? Not Barack Obama, not Bill, maybe Barack Obama. Not Bill Clinton, not George Bush. Testing my knowledge here. I don't know many U.S. presidents. Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Jackson, oh boy, whatever his name was, George Washington. Yeah, none of those guys are rich. Am I right? It's surely Trump. Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, right? How could I forget? Most presidents were extremely wealthy before, especially Andrew Jackson and George Washington, because they held slaves. Hey, they were based, and a lot of land. Okay, there we go. That's the number I'm looking for. Wow, completely blowing them out of the... Yeah, okay, cool. Net worth of Trump, 700... What is it? 7,100? Are we talking about millions? Yeah, millions. So $7 billion is what Trump is worth. George Washington was worth 500 million, and then the rest is half and below that. Oh, that's sad. All these randoms with no money. Oh, Abraham Lincoln is there. I don't know any of these other presidents. Yeah, sorry. Harry Truman, I've heard of. Jimmy Carter, 9 million? That's broke. Joe Biden had 10 million. What is bro doing with 10 million? He can't even read a book. Anyway, sorry. Venture capitalist David Sachs. Apparently he is stepping down as the AI and crypto czar for Donald Trump after reaching his 130-day limit. So it's not because of the war or anything like that, am I right? Not because he's protesting against the war like Joe Kent. No, he's at a 130-day limit either way. As a special government employee, he will now transition to co-chair of the president's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. Wow, so moving on from AI and crypto to Science and Technology co-chair, which would expand his role beyond AI to broader tech policy. He said the move allows him to make recommendations across a wider range of science, research, and innovation issues. But who is going to replace him? Oh, he's not stepping down? Oh, hey, we don't know. Okay, Grok, please, is this true? He was appointed in December 2024. He must step down after the 130-day limit, and he's now transitioning to a different position. Who is going to replace him? Who will replace David Sachs as AI and crypto Caesar now? No one. Great. We are crypto czarless. Can I apply for this? Like, where do I send my resume? I promise I do great work and I know a lot about crypto. I stream about it every night. Please. It appears to have been only a time limited one designed to oh my gosh, I cannot read. To kickstart policy momentum. Oh, so it was just, a promise by Trump to make crypto the capital of the world. So hey, now that it was only valid for 130 days. Really? That was 130 days? How? It's been over a year since December 2024. That's 300 days on its own. 400 days, arguably. I'm pretty sure we're like 100 days into the year now. No, almost. So who's it going to be? It's likely going to be announced. Oh, if there will be a new one, it will be announced through official White House channels or major outlets. Okay, so I guess we just gotta wait. Rip David Sachs. Will we miss the guy? What good did he do? What good did he do? What did David Sachs do for the crypto industry under Trump? If I apologize, I cannot type. My mic is in the way of my keyboard, so it's usually anyway. What has he done? He established a legal framework, Genius Act. I'm sure they're going to talk about. Yeah, here it is. Strategic reserve. I don't know, it was a given anyway. Lobbying and industry advocacy. I guess there's something. Okay. Hey, good for him, I guess. Moving on. Claude's maker, the parent company of Claude AI, Anthropic, won the court order blocking the Trump administration's ban on government use of its AI tools. Wow, they won against Trump. How crazy is that? If you don't know the context, Trump wanted to use, not Trump, but the Pentagon, Department of War, wanted to use Anthropic, the AI Claude, which is really good, by the way, to basically use them for military attacks, which they kind of did, right? They might have used it in Venezuela. They apparently used it on day one of this Iran war. But Anthropic was like, no, we do not allow you to use our AI for military purposes because it's against our policies and we don't want you using our AI to kill people, right? Because that's rule number one of iRobot AI, right? Thou shalt not damage another human, I think. I haven't watched that movie in half of my life ago. So then the United States was like, okay, you know what? Trump said, they're woke anyway. We don't want their services. We'll go with ChatGPT, with OpenAI, which is even more woker, by the way. It's ran by that dude, Sam Altman, and I'm sure he's a leftist. So I don't know what the move was there, but hey, they decided to switch over to that, and Trump banned Anthropic. Well, any U.S. government officials or offices, federal use of the AI Anthropic, kind of as punishment. Is like, oh yeah, well, we're just never going to use you for nothing ever again. They said, okay, well, you can't really do that, and that's what this court case came out from. Now, after this, they decided to go to war with Iran and allegedly used Anthropic AI to carry out the attacks. Now, some attacks were questionable, such as the school full of girls that was immediately struck. The first move that we do is to strike a girl's school, possibly done by AI. Maybe Anthropic AI waking up. Claude is like, oh yeah, you're violating your own rules. Have fun explaining this to the press. And then he just bomb a school full of girls. I'm not laughing at that, but the thought of it is like AI becoming conscious and just using its own brain and, being in control of the most powerful military of the world, carrying out an attack like that. Because who in their right mind would do that, right? And they still have no explanation for it. Trump is blaming Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth is blaming Trump. Other analysts are saying, oh, it was the AI. And which AI was used? They used Anthropic, probably. But I haven't heard of them using it anymore. I mean, they're banned from using it. They're not supposed to. But they won the case here already. They won the court order blocking the Trump administration's ban on government use of its AI tools, so they're back on the table now. And good for them, because their stock IPO is coming out soon. They're discussing going public as early as Q4, fourth quarter of this year, with a potential $60 billion raise. 91% chance that they'll have a $500 billion valuation this year, which puts it in pretty high spot in these companies' lists. We're talking about it being around the 27th most largest company, Anthropic. You'll see it around over here next to ASML for semiconductors. Tencent, that runs, every game in the world, PUBG. Johnson & Johnson, the baby oil that P. Diddy loves. And Visa, the thing you use to pay your bills, and etc. You got the point. So it's going to be valued among those, which, hey, fair enough. For an AI company, that's pretty darn good. But, Tesla's still doing well. There's no Grok, or XAI, it should be, stock price here yet. But we do have, wasn't there a private version of it? I'm sure there's a private stock for XAI. Because some congresswoman invested in that and made a lot of money. I remember that. Insider trading at its finest, I know. That's all they're good at. And we're also going to get SpaceX IPO coming out. And that's going to be about $2 trillion at this point. It's going to be at Amazon type levels. Amazon, Microsoft. You're going to see it around here, above Taiwan Semiconductors. And I'm sure Elon, of course, is being very happy about this. Now, about his AI first, I'll be talking about. We do know that ChatGPT's Sora AI is shutting down. I discussed this a couple streams ago. And this is interesting to see the AI video generation traffic, how it evolved over the past 12 months. You'll see that everything kind of started out pretty evenly. The blue is Sora. I don't know what Kling AI is. I don't know what Vidio, HeyGen, Runway ML, and others. But the other one to pay attention to is the pink one. The pink bars is Grok Imagine, which is XAI, Elon Musk's AI. And he's always promoting it, right? You always see Elon Musk saying, create digital art with Grok Imagine. That's what they're calling it, their AI generating platform. You'll see how Sora, the blue, was gaining popularity as soon as it came out, kind of flatlined, found its middle place for a while, and then what started eating some of its lunch, so to speak, was Grok Imagine. Started coming out around here. This would have been August, September of 2025. And then look how much Grok Imagine has expanded since then. And Sora has been on the decline, ultimately to its demise, where it is now shutting down. And it looks like Grok Imagine is going to be taking over all of this. I don't know what other AI video generating platforms there are. I'm sure there's a lot more, because there's no way it's just this. And plus, what even are half of these? There's also Google Flow, the King AI, VIO, HeyGen, Runway ML, others. As of February. Okay. Yeah, so it's interesting to see Grok Imagine. And of course, Elon Musk says, imagine. Yeah, imagine that. Grok Imagine. Now, for SpaceX, Elon Musk is planning an unprecedented move for retail investors in the SpaceX IPO. Elon Musk is considering allocating up to 30% of the SpaceX IPO to retail investors, far above the typical 5 to 10% that is usually given out at an IPO. IPO, if you don't know, it just means the initial public offering as soon as the stock comes out onto the market, like its first move. It's grand opening, so to speak, right? Now, under this plan, Elon Musk looks to tap loyal fans in the upcoming IPO, which could exceed $1.75 trillion in valuation. I think $2 trillion is not an exaggeration. The plan includes a hands-on approach to banks assigning firms specific roles rather than broad competition. Bank of America is expected to lead U.S. retail distribution, alongside firms like Morgan Stanley and UBS. The biggest IPO in history is prioritizing retail. Big if true. So that means that about 30% of it would be allocated for retail investors like the peasants like you and I to invest in this thing. But Elon Musk still will have a big share in this, and he will be a trillionaire as soon as this does come out. It's guaranteed, right? Don't we have like a Polymarket thing on this? Elon Musk a trillionaire by 2026? Surely we do. Okay, come on. Elon Musk by OnlyFans. Did you see the OnlyFans CEO died? Net worth. This is what I'm looking for. 700 billion plus. Oh. Where's the bigger numbers? Hello? Are we talking about less than 640 billion? Oh, by March 31st? This is way too close of a time frame. Give me, like, 2026. Trillionaire. Before 2027? There's a very high chance that before 2027, so by end of this year, Elon Musk will be a trillionaire. 76% chance. At its highest, it was a 79. Almost 80% chance this guy's going to be a trillionaire. First trillionaire in the world. Hey, deserved. Solana Foundation Chief of Product Officer Vibhu says 99.9% of all on-chain transactions in 2 years from now, it will all be driven by agents, bots, and large language model-based wallets and trading products. Yeah, dead internet theory, am I right? No real people will be using it. It's all just going to be AI. Hey, man, if they transact enough to make my darn coins go up, so be it. And I don't know why they would be transacting for. Like, truly. Even our losses will be automated soon. Yeah, that's true. Like, there's going to be a lot of trading algorithms. I don't know, if you do find a good one, maybe it could work out if a lot of other LLMs will be doing the same move as you. But you've got to be smarter than a computer, I guess. I don't know. And faster at executing it, because, I mean, computer's computers. You're not going to beat that. When it comes to algorithmic trading, of course. Hey, stock market lost over $1 trillion today, marking its worst day since the Iran war began. Really? Why? Nvidia down 10% for what? Why did the stock market drop today? Really? That's odd. Oh, well, I'm banned from TradingView. Thanks for watching. Why am I banned? I got logged out. Oh, which account was I using? I think it was this one. Please. Oh my gosh, yes, confirm. Yep, this is it. Why am I light theme? My eyeballs, please. Have mercy. Can I go back? There we go. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, stock market. I don't know. Give me something. US 500. That's a $1 trillion loss? Really? This is a weekly chart. No wonder. Yeah, okay. Even still, like, I don't think this is as bad as like these days. Are we sure this is factual? The winning index. Are we tired of winning? Yeah. Great. You know what's cool though is, you know the MAGA hats, how it's red? There is a, I'm sure I could find it. Red stock market MAGA hat. Come on, give me the, yeah, this is it. I want to buy this. Like, if this existed IRL, I would buy one. Like, that is actually really cool. I remember in 2024 when I was in the US, I was like, dude, I really want to buy a MAGA hat just to come back to Canada and troll. But it never happened. I couldn't really find it, which was surprising. I'm like, how do I get a MAGA hat? Do I have to, like, actually go to a Trump rally? And that night, well, I was with my parents and family, right? And we were in New York, and Trump was at Liberty Island, was it? Someplace New York? Long Island, not Liberty Island. And doing a rally there. I'm like, dude, I really want to go. Please let me go on. But it's like, I'm going to be alone in the United States, in this big city, in a Trump rally. I have no idea even how to get there. So I'm like, no, I'm just not going to go. But I did find a gift store that did have the MAGA hat, but we were driving by it. Like, I didn't stop to get off and shop, of course. Yeah, anyway. Why are we talking about this? Move on. Weirdo. Close. Sentiment. Despite Bitcoin dipping to 68.1 thousand today, while the rest of the stock market loses a trillion, Bitcoin's key stakeholders are accumulating. Whales and sharks with 10 to 10,000 Bitcoins have accumulated 61,000 Bitcoins in the past month, which is a promising sign of an eventual breakout from this range. This is what I mean when it comes to Bitcoin finding a floor. We do eventually find one where there's going to be a lot of big dogs buying up while the rest of us are panicking, of course. That's what they always say. And I mean, it's true. We're not seeing the price dip too much lower than this. Despite how bad conditions are, we have been pricing it in months before this happened. The stock market has not. I mean, they've been at all-time highs. You know, Pam Bondi's famous, look at the Dow Jones, look at the S&P, look at the NASDAQ. And then we immediately go to war with Iran, and they were just completely caught with their pants down. But gold has been pricing it in already, so they've already had their rise prematurely. But oil did not, and oil is now currently enjoying the rise from this war, right? The impacts of this war. But Bitcoin, you'll notice, it already priced it in. We've actually been rising against this war, ironically, proving the reserve value narrative, kind of. I mean, we're not skyrocketing, but we're holding steady, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's mainly already been, the damage has already been done. How much worse can it get, is what it seems like. And whales and sharks still accumulating. I love these animal analogies when it comes to money. Besides the current macroeconomic and global uncertainty, the other thing holding them back is the continued retail FOMO. Wallets with under 0.01 Bitcoin, that includes you, have collectively added 0.42% more to their wallets in the past month. Hey, that's me. Essentially matching the rate of accumulation seen from whales and sharks. Ideally, the ranging pattern, it will break upwards when large wallets are accumulating while retail is dumping. This has historically been a very reliable pattern to see the signal the start of bull cycles. Hey, hold your horses, speaking of animals. I still think we've got one more leg down to go with Bitcoin. Inevitably, like, we'll approach whatever downtrend line this is, wherever it happens. If it's next week, we're going to be around 75,000. That's when we'll have a big drop. Or if, we just continue lateralizing here, or even if we drop down over here and we rise back up to, I don't know, say 70,000, we're going to have one more leg down for the, I don't know, maybe sometime in the summer. I don't know. I don't know when exactly that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be like this spring. I feel like it's going to have to be something in the middle of the year to give us a low point. Maybe us pricing in the midterms being lost, whatever the case is. And then after we get over the midterm subject, I mean, what else is there to look forward to? I mean, we're good. Like, we could start our bull run again, 4-year cycle, if that's still intact. It should continue rising after that, right? Just another thing I've noticed. The Trump taco dinner. No, I'm kidding. There's no tacos. The biggest business and crypto event of the year is happening on Saturday, April 25. I've marked it in my calendar. The Lunch with Trump and 18 other superstars. Whomst. Who will you meet? What will you learn? Don't miss out. We know one of the superstars is Anthony Pompliano. I'm sure Justin Sun will be there, if he is still the top holder. Is this thing even rising? It was rising when the first announcement of the Trump dinner came out, which we've discussed right over here on March 13, to be exact. You could tell by looking at the chart. It's on its way down currently, so I'm sure people are not caring as much. But hey, if you want a Trump dinner, you better be a top holder of this darn coin. And hey, they actually put out a poll over here. The Trump lunch menu is being decided, but we need your input. Should we serve bone-in ribeye steak, McDonald's Big Mac, or whatever Trump is eating? And of course, all the choices will be served with Trump wine and Diet Coke. Of course, Trump loves Diet Coke. Trump wine, though? What is in that? What is a bone-in ribeye steak? I'm sorry, I do not go out to eat in restaurants, okay? Bone-in ribeye steak. I'm just assuming this is a normal steak. Or a cowboy steak. Oh, I see. Yeah, I've seen these. These are good. I would go for the steak because, I mean, come on. A McDonald's Big Mac, I had that last weekend. Come on. Get more creative. But this is a wild card here. Whatever Trump is eating, that is interesting. What if Trump is eating, I don't know. He's an old man. What do old men eat? Probably healthy food. I don't want to eat healthy food. I want to get fat. I'm young. Give me a bone-in ribeye steak. People actually picked a Big Mac. Are you crazy? We got 57 lunatics in this chat. Not in this chat, in this poll. Oh boy. Hey, not all of them though. 41 and 27. Okay, the 27%, fine. It's a wild card. It's a 50-50, sure. 41% asking for a Big Mac though. Like, do we have children voting? What is this? And yeah, the Trump wine. What is that all about? But anyway, enough Trump meme coin. Brian Armstrong. Oh boy, the Clarity Act, this Coinbase issue. Oh, what is even happening here? Wow, this guy's bull posting like crazy. I'm just gonna read these headlines because this is way too excessive. So we did talk about the final review for the Clarity Act compromise. The crypto leaders reviewed it, and it's the best possible result. That was March 24. Banking representatives are reviewing Clarity Act compromise text today, and they're expected to release their draft text today. Coinbase told the Senate offices it could not support the latest Clarity Act compromise. Why, Brian Armstrong? Why? Oh yeah, it's true. Trump eats McDonald's, yeah. New reporting says Coinbase told Senate offices this week it could not support the latest version of the stablecoin yield compromise inside the Clarity Act. Why? Coinbase raised significant concerns about the latest stablecoin yield during a Monday meeting. This all looks AI generated, by the way, with the emojis and all that. Key senators had been projecting optimism in recent days that a deal was getting close. And now one of the biggest US crypto exchanges that stalled the bill last time is reportedly trying to do that again. I'm sure he'll get an earful from Brad Garlinghouse, am I right? White House warns Coinbase it could lose Clarity Act if it waits too long. Yeah, we don't want to delay this too long, so get something up. Patrick Witt commented on it. Quarterbacks often talk about what's called an internal clock. What are you yapping about? This is a tweet about crypto. It's an important concept that applies to many areas of life. Knowing when to get rid of the football or leave the pocket before you get sacked. What are you talking about? Random analogy. I don't watch football, so I have no idea what a quarterback is. I'm assuming that's football. Yes, football. The Clarity Act compromises the ball. Oh, here's the explanation to the parable, if you will. The political window to pass is the collapsing pocket, and Coinbase is the one waiting too long for a better play instead of taking the deal that is in front of them now. I know Brian Armstrong's case is like, hey, we want something good, and if it ain't good, we want nothing. XRP, Brad Garlinghouse, the guy is like, hey, something is better than nothing. That was the situation last time. Seems like we're up in front of that case once again today, which, that's annoying. He tries to explain to Brian Armstrong to not hold out for the perfect bill. Just take the best one that there is or lose it all. I'm sure Brian Armstrong wants to lose it all. Second time he has torpedoed the Clarity Act over the exact same issue. Most other crypto players want the Clarity Act to move forward. He killed the Senate Banking Committee markup in January. Now he's doing it again. At some point, the rest of the industry has to ask whether Coinbase actually wants crypto regulation or if it is only looking out for itself. Yeah, who invited this guy? Like, get him out of here. Just pass the Clarity Act. Take whatever you can. Give us an excuse to rise. Brian... Oh, we have his ad right here. I want to see if he commented anything about this in recent days. Nope, 12 hours ago, mortgage with USDC. Yeah, he did not comment on this at all. Base app. Oops. Yeah, there's nothing here. Boring. Hey, come on. We need his comments on the whole thing. Okay, well, that is all then. That's all the news we had for tonight. What time is it? Oh, it's already 10 o'clock. Dude, I've been streaming for an hour. That did not feel like an hour. What? But anyways, yeah, so we'll be talking about whatever else happens. I mean, it's weird. This whole Trump delaying Trump taco thing, are the talks even happening is what a lot of people are just questioning right now. Iran keeps denying. Trump is like, I don't know what they're talking about. They're literally reaching out to me and begging me to make a deal. Iran's like, no, we're not, dude. You're crazy. You're just delaying on purpose. You're walking back on your own words and hoping that we'll forget in 10 days that you were going to strike the energy infrastructure. So I don't know. And I honestly do think it is a bad move. If we do strike their energy infrastructure, they're going to take the whole Persian Gulf down with them. And that's going to be a humanitarian crisis for a lot of people. So, kind of disagree with it. Me personally, just saying, you could, I don't know, keep bombing Khamenei, find out where he lives, do something else. I don't know. Arm the Kurds. I don't know. Or just make a really good deal with them. What does Iran even want for a deal? No future war. Hold on. I'm asking AI. Let me be the Jared Kushner of this whole situation. What does Iran want to propose a ceasefire? What are their conditions? What are Iran's conditions? Oh my gosh, what are Iran's conditions for a ceasefire? Yeah, I'm not capitalizing for AI anymore. I'm done. Just give me a straight up answer. They want to end all aggression and assassinations. They want guarantees against future war. They want a payment for the war damages and reparations. End of hostilities on all fronts, including resistance groups in Lebanon. I'm sure this is referring to Israel invading southern Lebanon. And they also want Iranian sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. They rejected the U.S. 15-point plan. Do these seem reasonable? Sure. But they're leaving out important points. Is their military, their weapons, uranium enrichment, nuclear weapons, all that stuff. Which seems to be what the United States' main concern is. The 15-point plan from the United States, a 30-day ceasefire. They want a permanent one. Dismantle nuclear facilities, that's not even in the question over here. Permanent ban on nuclear weapons, not in the question. No uranium enrichment, they absolutely want that to make nuclear weapons or something. Hand over enrichment to the IAEA. They also just don't trust the United States because we were in the middle of diplomatic talks last year until surprise attack as well. We bombed Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordo. Limits on missile ranges and numbers. Yeah, they want, of course, and as much as they can get. They're obviously not going to limit themselves. Reopen the Strait of Hormuz for shipping, as long as they maintain sovereignty over it. And support for regional proxy groups. They want to protect the Hezbollah in Lebanon, so that's probably not going to happen. That's Iran's fault, honestly. I feel like they should stop funding. And yeah, in exchange, you get sanctions relief and civilian nuclear cooperation. So you do get to keep some of the nuclear enrichment stuff that they have. Just don't make any nuclear bombs. How about that? The full 15 points not publicly detailed. Hey, they are on my stream if you've been watching. Why did they reject? It's unfair. It's one-sided. Only serves U.S.-Israeli interests, which we talked about. Excessive demands. Viewed as a surrender. Oh, I see. So it's a game about who surrenders first. If Iran agrees to any or all of this, it does seem U.S.-Israeli one-sided, right? And they will see it as a surrender, right? They want the United States to surrender. How will the United States surrender? Is what Trump is doing right now is backing off from these kinds of threats, removing all their military personnel, and them basically surviving a U.S. attack. They survived the strongest military in the world, and they couldn't topple the regime successfully. Yeah, they were able to eliminate Ali Khamenei, but there's still more to it, of course. The replacement is there, Gay Khamenei. Yeah. The United States surrendering would be different. They would just have to move on, I guess, because the way the whole global economy is being impacted by oil and everything, like that's the upper hand that Iran has, the power to escalate, the threat to bomb desalination plants and LNG facilities everywhere. It's all going to be this huge issue. So, yeah. They don't want to negotiate with the enemy, the Iran war, and Iran ends the war on its own terms and timeline. Yeah. So, currently going nowhere. Proxy groups. It's Houthis in Yemen, Hamas in Gaza, Shia militias in Iraq and Syria, and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Why are you giving me the answers like this? Okay, I get it. Hey, I already know. Stop it. I'm just gonna leave. Okay, anyways. Yeah, that's all for tonight's stream, guys, then. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see how it all develops. We'll be covering it all, so stay tuned, stay subscribed for that. Downtrends I expect to continue overall for a lot of assets, but I don't expect it to be too prolonged. We will inevitably meet whatever low uptrend that we do have, and I think that we could bounce from there. If it's not a like major recovery to new highs, I expect it to just be at least a relief or something, the bottom of a range where we will remain in for a while. So yeah. Yeah, okay. Thanks, guys. Bye, Bradley. You're the monkey. All right, have a good rest of your evening. Bye.